Question one, who told you about Jesus? Where did you hear about the gospel, and who were some of the first people to tell you about it? Parents, grandparents, Sunday school teacher, pastor, youth leader, a coworker, friend? How did it all come into place? Were you invited to church, or did you grow up in a Christian family where you've always been Christian and just never knew any other way? What's your story? And knowing our story is important because we are called to go and tell the story, to tell the story of Jesus. If nobody tells anybody, no one will know. And Paul puts it beautifully in Romans 10. He says, how can they call on him to save them unless they believe in him? They is the people, they are the people. Him is God. And how can they believe in him if they've never heard about him? And how can they hear about him unless someone tells them? And how will anyone go and tell them without being sent? That is why the scriptures say, and then he quotes Isaiah, how beautiful are the feet of messengers who bring good news. That's what we're called to do. We're called to go. Sometimes we hesitate to tell our story because we don't want to be rude. We don't want to be a weirdo at work, whatever. But the nice thing about it is all you're going to do is talk about what happened to you, your experience with Jesus, and not just how he finished you and you're all set and you're a perfect Christian now, but how you're in the continual process of growing. So there's no go without the story of your grow, right? You got to tell the story, and it's really up to you and me. There are places where you will walk today where no one else may have a message to carry of the gospel except for you. So what would happen if people just sort of learned to expect that from you, or even saw that that was kind of how you rolled, to the point where they would ask you, why are you so happy? Why are you so light? Why are you at peace when the rest of us are in this tension? What is it about you that you have? I want to know your secret. And so you might say, here's my secret. There is no secret. It's the presence of God in my life. Or conversely, they might say to you, man, you've been through a lot. How have you managed all this turmoil and devastation in your life? You might say, well, what I found is that when stuff gets really difficult, we can ask God to take us out of it. And sometimes he does, and we should ask him. But a lot of times he makes us equal to the task. He raises up our capacity through him, through his power in us. There's a story behind that. But the whole idea is to enter into the story and to actually tell somebody what happened. I love this book. This is one of my favorite books from when I was a kid. I mentioned it yesterday at Central. Go, Dog, Go by P.D. Eastman. Do you remember that one? The whole idea of the book is these animals are driving, which is pretty cool in and of itself, that their feet can reach the pedals and that they're able to see and maneuver the steering wheel without opposable thumbs. But the really moving thing about the story is how it ends. They're all up in a tree, spoiler alert, having a great party. You see finally what their destination was. For you and me, the destination is eternity with the Lord, but that begins now. And there are more people who need to know. And it's you, not them, but you who have the capacity, the opportunity, and the calling to tell them. So today, go. That's RadCast.